wanted to enjoy this movie, but I did not, unfortunately. The movie starts off with this pretty cool song. I don't remember the lyrics because it's been a few days since I've watched it, and I've been watching a lot of movies lately. Um, but yeah, it starts off with a pretty good song. Um, the main character, I'm just gonna call her Denise because she does mention that she would like to be called Denise. Um, Denise, um, is this girl that is struggling with her sexuality. She doesn't know if she's lesbian, if she's bi, or whatever. Like she doesn't she she thinks she might even be confused. And she has this friend who is just all types of awful. She enforces the stereotype if you're friends with a guy, you're supposed to fuck him. She makes a bit of a homophobic joke when she wants to be called Denise. Like she's like, that's such a lesbian name. Something along those lines is what she says, like, and she doesn't even know she's a lesbian at this point, so it feels more homophobic. I mean, she does mention later that she had feelings that she might be, um, you know, a lesbian, but her saying that was kind of rude. And her boyfriend enforces that stereotype too, with them saying that he even got a pedicure so he could get with her, which I think is a very weird thing to show in this movie. And it's weird how much they focus on a straight relationship with these other two characters instead of the main character. Like, she does get a decent amount of the movie, obviously, because she's the main character, but I think them focusing on the straight couple is a bit weird. Um, and her friend's name is Jane, and I really don't like Jane. Like I already said, she's not the nicest person. Um, the main character, Denise, isn't the nicest person either. She openly makes fun of one of Jane's other friend's cat just because she doesn't like her personality and she thinks she's uninteresting and gross. Because she's open with her sexuality. Like she talks about sucking dick and stuff. And Denise just isn't okay with that apparently. So I don't really like the main character either. She is more sympathetic though because what she's going through, but that doesn't make her, a good person just because she's a lesbian. So at the same time, I'm not liking her. I am sympathizing with her and her struggle with finding out her sexuality, but she's a bit of a dickhead. Um, her and Jane get into this big fight. A lot of words are exchanged. And you can write this off as, anger, said in the moment, shit. Some of it is really awful, what Jane says. Like, Jane ends up being pissed that some people think that Jane and Denise might be a couple. Um, which is just very insane to me. So that's clearly homophobic, at least in my opinion, that she doesn't like that people assume that they might be a couple. And Denise is weirded out by that because she's always thought they were more like sisters. And Jane is still going on this little weird rant. And Jane is a real dick in this argument. Um, I can sympathize with the fact that Denise is sad that her friend is moving away. Especially someone that's as close as that. Because my best friend has been talking about moving for a while now. And it would be selfish of me for me to tell him to not move. But at the same time, I would be sad and I would have every right to be. But the way it comes off is very clingy and weird. Like she's crying on the toilet. The cover right here is actually from when she's crying on the toilet. And she talks about how they even wipe the same so they can't leave. I think it's supposed to be funny. I didn't find it funny. She even talks about how they won't even be wiping in the same country anymore. It's weird. I didn't find it funny. Um, Jane also tries to control how Denise eats, and she kind of deflects about that and just starts being a bitch again. Um, Eventually, they just quit being friends, and yeah, it's very. I was like, yeah, that makes sense because I've lost a lot of friends over the years, and I stuck with that. Some of them I did try and become friends with again, and I realized it wasn't meant to be because they haven't changed as a person. And yeah, this movie is very strange. Um, Jane ends up kissing somebody in a lesbian club to try and make Denise be more open with her sexuality, but she's not even close to being ready to do something like that, so she just goes home and Jane's pissed at her for that, for her not being ready. Danny is, uh, he doesn't want to go to London. Jane is moving away to London, which is 11 hours away from wherever this movie takes place. They might have said it at some point, but I don't remember. And, it turns out that Jane, as controlling and, you know, not caring as she is, just assumed he would be okay with moving to London. She didn't even ask him. Which, wow, that was a weird thing to drop in the movie. Um, Danny ends up just leaving. I guess they're broken up now or something. Um, Denise becomes more comfortable with her sexuality. She tries to date Brittany. It turns out Brittany is probably just straight. And she goes to take off with her ex to some place for like a month or a few months. This movie's kind of all over the place. Not in like it's confusing to follow, but there's just so much going on and so much I don't care about. Um, Finally, Denise becomes, like I said, more open with her sexuality, and she tries to fucking uh, date girls. Some of them don't work out. Some of them get too drunk and slip and fall. And eventually she lands on this one girl, and it seems like they have a bit of a connection. And they agree to meet again sometime, and next time Denise will pay. Well, they decide fuck that story because Denise decides to just move with Jane to London. Just like that. It is honestly one of the worst endings I've ever seen in the movie. They completely write off the fact that what she was doing was a bit too clingy. What she's doing is rash. Like, they do make a joke about it, like, oh, she's driving her to the airport, so where's her car gonna go? Um, and blah, blah, blah. It's just really, really stupid that this movie ended like that. Like, she was starting to be more comfortable in her sexuality. She had moved on with her life, it had seemed. She was gonna have a new girlfriend. But no, she decides to drop all of that to go live with her friend in London, 11 hours away, apparently. It's such a dumb ending. I've never seen a dumber ending.